With the 10th anniversary panel today at Comic-Con, I wanted to do a special Clone Wars video based around the question, why is the Clone Wars animation series so good? Why is it better than even the prequel movies themselves? Well, as you can tell, this isn't going to be a normal theory crafting Force Within TV video, so let's get right into it. What is the number one reason to watch the Clone Wars animation series for the first time or even again? I'd say it's to learn or remember who Ahsoka Tano really is, and her humble beginnings. Seeing the amazing transition from this annoying little girl to a young Jedi Padawan that helps illustrate who Anakin Skywalker could be at his best is one reason to watch the series. We also really start to see through Ahsoka that there are obviously internal problems with the Jedi Council during the Clone Wars animation series when Ahsoka chooses to leave the Jedi Order. Additionally, knowing the Clone Wars story makes the return of Ahsoka that much more important when we see her in Rebels 2. As my buddy JJ often stated, she totally steals the show in Rebels, so if for no other reason, check out her backstory in the Clone Wars to make those moments even more impactful. Another reason you should check out the Clone Wars is seeing Anakin Skywalker as his best. He is a selfless general that values the life of his clone troopers, a great mentor to Ahsoka in sort of this big brother way, and the banter between Anakin and Obi-Wan is just so good. With 121 episodes, you learn so much more about the man that becomes Darth Vader. But moving on to number 3, we have getting to know the clone troopers, and if you haven't seen this series before, you might be a little confused by this, but it's really simple. The Clone Wars series humanizes the clones. We get to know them in a much more personal way, their challenges, their camaraderie, their relationship with the Jedi, and this all makes their betrayal during Order 66 so much more tragic. This series does a great job with the clones and is one reason you should watch it or watch it again. Some of you might think that the story of Darth Maul, or Maul as we have come to know him in the Clone Wars, is a story that should be higher on my list than number 4, but the truth is the return of Darth Maul is pretty lame. That said, once he's back in the story, he contributes to some of the best Star Wars action in the new Star Wars canon. I'm trying to keep this spoiler free, but specifically the Sith showdown, including Maul, is fantastic. And much like the clones, we get to know Maul in a much deeper level. Sam Witwer does an amazing job bringing the character to life, or should I say, back to life. Okay, so I'll admit I got the idea for this video from Cnet. They did a very similar article I'll have linked in the video description. They actually list 10 reasons the Clone Wars is awesome, and one of those reasons is the fact that the Clone Wars takes the time to explore the gray areas of the prequels. It's not just the good guys and the bad guys. They suggest that we know the Clone Wars are based on Darth Sidious' deception, so a gray morality hangs over the series as a whole. On the face of it, the Republic is the heroic side and the Separatists are the villains. But the show often reminds us that things aren't so simple. This is best characterized by Lux, a Separatist who befriends Ahsoka after she joins Senator Padme Amidala on a diplomatic mission in the Season 3 episode Heroes on Both Sides, a phrase seen in the opening crawl of Revenge of the Sith. Lux ultimately turns on the Separatists and joins Saw Gerrera's rebels. Of course, Saw goes on to become the slightly unhinged radical freedom fighter we see in Rogue One. We also find that the Jedi are acting in questionable ways, from the overt actions in the Fourth Season's Umbar 4 partner to decisions made by the Council in the later part of the series. So looking over these 5 reasons, just don't let the animation fool you. If you love Star Wars, you need to watch the Clone Wars. So now it's time to fire up Netflix and start watching or rewatching the Clone Wars animation series. I know I'm going to be closely watching the Clone Wars animation panel today, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like to chat during the lead up to the actual panel. But hey, Star Wars fans, use the Force within you to make the Star Wars community a better place. Share your thoughts and opinions respectfully and encourage others to do the same. You can do so by answering the question of the day, which today is, what are your favorite moments from the Clone Wars series? Let me know in the comments below, and may the force of others be with you as we all collectively hope for some Star Wars animation news today.